Hi, my name is Diaz, and today we're going to cover how to layer and split on the Fantom G, cover some basics. As you'll see, it's really not that hard to do, and I think once you get under your fingertips, you're going to really enjoy it. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do is we want to be in live mode. There's 3 different modes to the Fantom: single, live, and studio. So the first thing we want to do is select live mode. Once we're in live mode, we're going to see whatever live set is brought up on the screen, and there's a couple ways to clear this out so we can actually start working. One way is to go ahead and press F2 Utility, F6 Initialize, F8 Select, and then F7 OK, and then F8 Exit. And that initializes the current live set that was there, and so it's a real nice easy way for us to go ahead and get started. But we didn't erase what was there, we just kind of cleared it out so we could work on our own. Another way to do it, which is what I always like to do, is if I'm in the user bank, all I do is I'll scroll until I get into a free one. Now there's 512 slots on here, so it's not that hard to find a free one. Now if you find yourself in preset, go ahead and use the arrow buttons on the right of the screen where the dial wheel is, and go ahead and cursor over to preset, spin the wheel to user, and then just go ahead and find a free initialized live set. Now that we have our live set selected, let's go ahead and cursor down one and highlight number 1. This is going to show us the first instrument we're going to use, and this one says G grand. So the first thing I want to do is press F1 patch list. Now I'm going to go ahead, I can use anything that I want. I'm pressing F1 and F2 to go down into categories. Once I'm in a category I like and I want to use, I'll go ahead and use the dial wheel and just spin the wheel, and I can just go up and down through the sounds. If I want to hear a sound and don't know what to play, I can always hold down preview, and this way I can actually hear everything that's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and make a layer first. That's 2 sounds laying on top of each other. So the first I'm going to use, let's just use an electric piano. I'm going to go ahead and use number 80, pure EP. So press F8 to select, and now that's in my keyboard. Now go ahead and I'll cursor down to number 2, and I'm going to press F1 patch list, and I'm going to go ahead and go down to strings. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the string sounds, maybe string section 2, 752. So preview it if you want, hold down the preview button, F7. If I like that, press F8 to select. So now we have both of our sounds selected, the pure EP and also the strings section. So in order to make them so they'll play at the same time, all I have to do is go to this next column right here that says keyboard. So this next column, I can go ahead and cursor over, highlight, and just spin the wheel to the right. Cursor up one more time, spin the wheel to the right, and now you'll notice they're both in the key bed at the same time. So in order to adjust the volumes, if I use the sliders that are just to the left that way, I'll go ahead and turn down number 1, which is electric piano, and turn down number 2, which is strings, and now bring them up to the desired level. Cool, and that's all I have to do a layer. Okay, now if I wanted to do a split, let's go ahead and clear this off. So I could go ahead and just start from here if I want. So to make a split, just press cursor down to the next one, because these steps are all the same. So cursor down, and let's go ahead and pick F1, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to choose bass. And at this point the bass I choose doesn't really matter. So now I have the electric piano on number 1 and the bass on number 2. So we already put them together in the keyboard. Now let's cursor over to this next column which says lower. Okay, if I spin the wheel, you see I can adjust where that split point is. Now we've learned how to make stuff a little bit more streamlined, so if I hold down the shift button and touch any note on the keyboard, I can adjust my split point that quickly. Now let's cursor down over so we can do part 2. Now in part 2 I don't want to adjust the lower, I want to adjust the upper. So I'll go ahead and go to the upper column here, cursor over, and I can spin the wheel if I want, or just hold down the shift button and simultaneously hit the key that I want. So notice I put them next to each other. So always put them adjacent to each other. That's probably the easiest way. So now that I've created it, hold down a chord, and I can adjust my balance between the two. So that quickly I just created a split. Now in order to save the split, just press the red right button just to the right of the screen, and it's going to come up to this right menu. So it automatically selects live set, and that's what we want to do. So press F8 select. Now I can spin my dial wheel and adjust what I want it to say. So let's go ahead and just title this, Ed. Now here's a cool trick. If I press down, it turns to lowercase. Press up, it's uppercase. So now let's just delete all that stuff. Press F8 for OK. Now when this comes up, it asks me, do I want to put this in number 51? Now remember, if I cleared out a previous sound so I could work, I might not want to do this. So if I press the Enter button just to the right of the screen under the dial wheel, it pops open all of my available spots. All of my available spots. So this way I can find a free spot, maybe 37, there's nothing there. Press F8 select and actually write it there. And so that's how we very quickly and easily do a basic layer and split.